Have you noticed how one person keeps showing up in your thoughts, even when you try to move on? It feels quiet, almost gentle, yet impossible to ignore. Psychology tells us this doesn't happen without a reason. Sometimes the mind holds on to someone because they are fighting a battle you cannot see. And without realizing it, you may be sensing their silent struggle. Sign 1. They enter your mind without warning. You are not thinking about them on purpose. You could be busy, calm, even happy, and suddenly their face appears in your mind. No memory triggered it, no message caused it, it just happens. In psychology, this often points to emotional spillover. When someone is carrying heavy feelings, they refuse to express. Those emotions do not disappear. They search for release. And when a person once felt safe with you, the mind remembers that safety. This is why the thought feels soft but persistent. It is not loud or dramatic. It feels quiet, almost respectful. That quietness matters. It often means the struggle is hidden, controlled, and deeply internal. People who suffer silently do not reach out. Instead, their emotional energy leaks in subtle ways. Your mind picks up on what your eyes cannot see. This does not mean they are thinking about you romantically. It means at some point you became emotionally grounding to them, and when their inner world becomes too heavy, your presence resurfaces as a place of relief. That is why the thought feels sudden. Pain does not announce itself. It simply looks for somewhere safe to rest. Sign 2. You feel an emotional weight that does not belong to you. There are moments when you feel heavy for no clear reason. Nothing bad happened. Your day is fine, yet your chest feels tight, your energy feels low, and your mood shifts without warning. In psychology, this is often linked to emotional attunement. When you are deeply empathetic, your nervous system notices changes in emotional energy around you, even from a distance. You sense emotional imbalance before logic can explain it. This kind of weight feels different from your own sadness. It arrives quietly. It lingers without a story. And no matter how much you search your life for the cause, nothing fully explains it. People who hide their struggles often release emotional signals unconsciously. They appear strong, calm, and in control. But internally, they are exhausted from holding everything together. When someone like that once felt emotionally understood by you, your mind becomes a place their unspoken feelings echo. Not because you are responsible, but because connection leaves emotional fingerprints. This is why the feeling passes when you think of them, then returns when you push the thought away. Your awareness is touching something unfinished, and your heart feels the weight long before words ever appear. Sign 3. The connection feels quiet yet deeply intense. There is no constant talking, no dramatic moments, yet the connection feels stronger than many loud relationships you have known. In psychology, intensity does not come from frequency. It comes from emotional depth, and depth is often formed during moments of vulnerability, not happiness. People who are struggling internally tend to grow quieter, not colder. They pull back to survive, not to disconnect. Silence becomes a shield, not a message. This is why the bond feels strange. You do not hear from them, yet you feel them. The connection exists beneath words, where unspoken emotions live. When someone suppresses pain, their emotional world becomes concentrated. Everything they cannot say gathers inward, and that intensity is felt by those they once trusted emotionally. That is why the connection feels heavy but meaningful. It is not excitement, it is gravity, a quiet pull created by something unresolved. This kind of bond does not fade easily, because it was not built on moments. It was built on emotional truth that never found a voice. Sign 4. They seem completely fine to everyone else. From the outside, they look okay. They smile, they joke, they show up and handle life. Nothing about them suggests they are struggling. In psychology, this is known as high-functioning emotional distress. These are the people who suffer quietly while appearing strong. They learned early that showing pain feels unsafe. This is why others never notice. The mask is polished, the performance is consistent, and the world rewards them for looking stable. But behind closed doors, the pressure builds. They do not allow themselves to fall apart. They carry everything alone, believing that needing help is weakness. When you sense something is wrong despite their calm exterior, it is not imagination. Your mind remembers who they are without the mask. You notice the small pauses, the tired eyes, the moments they quickly brushed away. This contrast is powerful. The stronger someone appears, the deeper their hidden exhaustion often runs. And when they think no one sees their pain, your awareness becomes the quiet witness. That is why they stay in your thoughts. Not because they are pretending, but because they are surviving. Sign 5. You feel a quiet urge to check on them. You do not feel panic. You do not feel obsession. You just feel a soft pull to ask if they are okay. In psychology, this urge comes from an activated caregiving response. Your mind senses emotional vulnerability, even when it is hidden, and it responds with concern, not logic. This feeling is calm but persistent. You may open your phone, type a message, then hesitate, not because you do not care, but because you do not know what to say. People who struggle silently rarely ask for support. They hope someone will notice without them having to explain. And when they once felt emotionally safe with you, your awareness stays alert. This is not about fixing them, it is about recognition. Your nervous system is responding to someone who feels emotionally exposed beneath their strength. That is why the urge returns at random moments. It is not driven by memory, it is driven by empathy. Sometimes the strongest form of connection is not contact, it is the quiet wish that someone does not feel alone in their pain. Here is the part most people never talk about. Sometimes the reason they stay in your thoughts is not because of who they are now, but because of who you were to them. At some point, your presence felt safe, calming, or emotionally grounding. And when their inner world becomes heavy, the mind returns to what once brought relief. But this does not mean you are responsible for their pain. It does not mean you are meant to save them, fix them, or carry their struggles. Psychology is clear on this. Awareness is not obligation. You can sense someone's struggle without stepping into it. You can care without losing yourself. Understanding this truth protects both empathy and emotional health. Sometimes connection is simply a quiet memory of safety, and sometimes that is all it ever needs to be. If someone keeps living in your thoughts, trust that it is not random. Often it is because something unspoken is asking to be seen, not solved. Let this awareness soften you, not burden you. And if this message resonated with your heart, stay connected here for deeper psychological truths you were never taught.